Mm. It's my live chat. I need to drop the phone number. What up, Ryan? Hey, Ryan, do me a favor. I need you to write a message and say, oh wait, maybe I can do it. Never mind. Well, Jesus Christ is life, but acts are how we thank Him by creating things in His image, the image of His cross. Hey, will you do me a favor? Write 3502325 and put it in the chat so I can remember it. 350. Thanks. What up, Justin? I need to pin that. I gotta pin it on this phone. Pin message. And I need to just shut this one up. Damn, only 2 likes, y'all. I'm fixing to start doing some cool shit. I just got started. Hopefully we'll have some people call in and debate. Until then, I'm gonna start rolling my cigar. Boy! Yes, I did just wake up. It's 4:24. I cut myself on this axe messing around with it earlier, and it was bleeding super bad. So I literally coated the whole axe in my own blood. It's all coated in blood. It makes it look pretty sick and red. Even on the top, the only part you can't see the blood is the purple from the purple heart wood, but you can see it's kind of blood stained. I know, dude, I'm blessed to have this shed. It's fucking my man lair. I could live out here. Then I got my blickies. And I got my TV, we can react to some shit. This is an 8-pound axe that I'm working on getting all the blue off of. Cause man, it is going to look so much cooler without the blue. And it is gonna be a beast. No, actually, believe it or not, in the old times, back in medieval times, it was considered um, disrespect to not greet each other with a holy kiss on the lips. In fact, that's how you would have to greet uh, your bishop or archbishop if they came to your parish in the church. You'd have to kiss them. But nowadays, you just kiss their ring. I'll be back. I gotta find this shit. And where the fuck did I do my TV remote?
Destination for all things green, thrilling, and just well great on the Outdoor Escape channel, only on QVC Plus and HSN Plus. Download the free TV app on QVCPlus.com to start streaming now.
Hit him with the facts. For every soul on the planet, demons who seek to destroy me, I offer oblivion.
No, I mean, as long as you're greeting them with a holy kiss and it's just a greeting, you're not, there's no sexual urge behind it. That would be pre-lust. How did I lose my own TV remote?
The NBA playoffs presented by Google tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's on Prime.
Alright, who did it? Where the fuck is my TV remote? I know I had it. This is pissing me off. It's in my fucking pocket.
After Hurricane Helene ravaged North Carolina, Michael Watley was tapped to lead the recovery. But on Watley's
Yeah, it's funny. I actually have a normal little light right here I could have used.
roads, homes, and businesses delayed.
But
Michael
this
Watley,
one's
do your
easier.
job.
And just in case a threat pops up. Bop, 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 bop.
Gripping the road,
It's a
keeping momentum,
beautiful G23
responding with precision. A brand
40 cal.
a tire that fits.
Red.
Laughing,
I
official
colored
tire
it
partner
red
of
to make it look
TGL.
all pretty. I'm working on the purple version now. Alright, pot rush 66. Unless you got some arguments or you're gonna call in and debate me, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout for being a gay lover.
Or no?
Sure. But listen, I want to do this professionally because I want people to see a Protestant, two Protestants, because I've been in it for a year and a half, yeah? I'm not the top person in the world at all. I'd love to have Gary and me versus two of the best Protestants on a time debate on CK channel, and I want the best, no excuses time, polite people that are educated that we can go back and forward. I've asked the best people. I've got my friends, the people I hang out with, and I've said, look, if you want to push back, I'll debate you. But I'd love to be Protestants to see this tested. To see tested. Can you find two people who are noteworthy, no excuses? When we say when we show bring all the sources, I want no excuses. Oh, they didn't know what they were talking about. Two of them to go against me and Gary in a time debate, and I will debate how I debate. I won't be unchristian. You stick to scripture. I won't make.
See, then why don't we have the Book of Enoch?
It's not in the Bible. It's not in the King James.
Asking if you want to debate. He did ask you in the chat.
14 book
If you
apocrypha.
want.
Yeah, timed with me and Gary, timed, and make sure that it's good. I'm not about your
Codex, I don't know what's going on with your stuff, but bro, that's killing my ears.
Yeah.
I don't want to debate a bum. Sorry for the language. I'm pretty blunt. I want two people where someone says, "Do you know what? They know the stuff."
Yeah, you know, I'm being honest. I don't know why those books were taken out, but
They were by council. British Foreign Bible Society they were taken by council that had the Trinitarians left from.
well, when I do the research part, it's based on a few things. You know, Catholic and Protestants having a disagreement on what was, you know, a sure thing.
Okay, so you guys are.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead, no.
Okay, so I'm gonna screen share and tell me what you think. Oh, God bless you, Noggins.
See you later, brother. I've got to go to work. So can we set up a debate? CK.
He probably with CVS.
Alright, CK, can you set my screen share?
What we're discussing now.
I think Richard, are you available to set up screen share?
Yeah, hold on, I sent you in the private chat then.
Oh, I don't care about this. I'm going to do a proper time debate. I'm bored of being apocryphal. We'll do it properly with people who know what's talking about.
You ready? You can read it. Okay. So here we go.
Hereditary, isn't it?
A certain Razi is one of the elders of Jerusalem was denounced to Nicanor. Huh?
What translation are you reading?
I am reading from the NR.
Catholic translation. King James only made.
Yeah.
We should speak in these things, but you can't do it. I'm not even discussing if you bring up Catholic translation. You don't understand it. You're attacking a Catholic translation who bring in these crazy things.
So King James is a Catholic translation?
No. The words and verses added to the Deuterocanon, the Apocrypha is only in the King James, and all the other 6 translations before it, the Geneva, the Matthew's Bible, the Bishop's Bible, every single English Bible had the Apocrypha in it. 14 books.
So which version do you want to go to then?
King James only, bro. I don't want to debate this. Look at someone who knows what we're talking about. No, because you brought through 2, and when I actually told you both of them, you never went, oh, you're right. I didn't realise that. Well, that argument's failed. There was no humility. You want to win an argument. Your heart posture's in the wrong place.
I'm not trying to win any argument. I'm trying to.
No, I know you're not, but listen. On stage, when I get corrected, I say, oh, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, I've heard you say that too.
I do it all the time. People think that I'm just about the word. I couldn't care. I love doing wrong because it means I was wrong. When I've said it to people on stage, this one, actually, first shown blood, no one said, oh, you're right, that argument's wrong. No one said it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I don't care about this. Now you go to a Catholic translation to do some other nonsense. It's like, chill. Just if someone's arranged a debate, we can do it all day. But I want time, but I want people to go, actually, do you know what? I went to a debate, I heard of him, and now I'm going to read the Apocrypha for myself.
Okay, my apologies. New revised standard version, yeah. Just double checking, yeah.
Bro, listen, you honestly, I feel never laughing with the way that the Catholics translate certain things to bring it in. It's crazy. There's verses. My mate Maximus was my best friend.
I like the King James, bro.
We talk every day, and he goes to a verse.
Okay, do you want the New American Bible then?
I don't want to debate it. I want to debate what we're talking about. I want to debate. Not that's not offensive.
No, it's not debating. It's just a conversation.
Where the fuck?
Then it's difficult to have the conversation. Yeah, that's just. I'm just being.
I mean, I'm just going by what the context says. It's just a story in 2nd Maccabees 14. It's not like a doctrine where it expands. It's just a story, you know. And it doesn't go anywhere else in 2nd Maccabees 14. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, I just sit down and read the book, and then if you read the book, yeah, and just for know, Maximus will tell you this. When we were discussing, I've been discussing with friends for years, like, hey, I was wrong. And now I'm really trying to get to grips with a couple of the books.
Adam, you said I wasn't honest when I gave you a certain translation.
No, when I gave you the explanation for the thing you saying it teaches.
Oh, motherfuckers.
No one was saying, oh, the first Sean Blood. Yeah, I can see that. So I actually defended them. And
I'm fucking
wrong because I gave the understanding.
Still can't find
perfectly normal stuff.
Right.
my raps that I just had out.
If you can't be humble enough to see truth and recognize it and concede to that, then you must have a pride issue, and that is definitely going to come at your cost.
No one can take an L. A few people can. I know some great debaters. When you're trying to win an argument, there's no one has a flawless victory. No one has flawless theology.
I feel so lucky to have a partner like Mac. He keeps the house pristine. Even when he's playing his favorite game, Royal Kingdom, he still finds time to show how much he cares.
It's a lunchable.
So useful.
Maybe they're around that.
It kind of looks like this other one he has of King Richard. It's kind of weird, but I don't really think much of it because he's just so great around the house. Oh, he wrote me a love letter recently. Our love is like Real Kingdom, always expanding. Oh.
Babe, I beat another level.
Oh, that's my Mac.
Blink and get more with new 2K Plus Smart Security. With Blink 2K Plus, get set up in minutes to see every detail in crisp 2K video. Get noise cancellation for clearer two-way talk.
Hey.
Okay, perfect timing. Get wireless power for up to 2 years of battery life. Plus, with smart detection, you always know who's there. Plug in or battery power. Get Blink 2K Plus and get more with smart security for less.
Like, God has hidden this from the wise and handed it to the babes.
Yeah. Into the what was hidden? What was hidden from the
wise.
The babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bible does say that.
So essentially, wouldn't that mean like your heart posture should be faithful to God in a way that where he is when he's revealing something, you're taking it as like a child?
Yes, childlike faith. Johnny Chang said this. He says the Bible is read to be accepted, not understood. You read it, you accept it. Understanding comes with that.
What's wrong with info, boys?
Johnny Chang.
I found him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I sure as fuck found him, mates.
I think what he teaches is false.
What is he?
He's been caught on a few lies. A few times.
Johnny Chang, he's the only person I pay for on YouTube. He thinks that Bible is incredible. Jesus for the gospel.
The Christian Kings are
Why are you filled with energy? You just woke up? Yeah, lithium that the government's gonna fucking take. Nothing I'ma get. You think the government's gonna hand me some money just because they found it in my mountains?
I think he's the best teacher online. Because I'm a geek, I love geek.
No, they're gonna fucking cloud the seeds until they flood out everybody's mobile homes and all the poor people get flooded out and sell the rights to their lands for pennies on the dollar to the corporations.
I think James B. Talmadge better, but I'm biased.
And then that's just like what happened in Hawaii. They started that fake fire, so all the poor locals had to run. Then after the fire, which Israeli set, they came up and did cleanup gang and bought all that nice property. It'll happen here.
You don't have to repent.
That's what I was gonna say.
And about the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, but you do, the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer, he hasn't died yet.
I ain't no mind work. I do some mind work if it's enough money to get me a good chunk of change in a good few years, but you know, I'm not working more than 5 years in a mine, if even that. I make so much money from my other cans of duster. What do I need duster for?
If I need to, it's a normal posture. So how can I have been forgiven?
We're not children on this channel. We do real drugs. It's like we're Christians. We don't do any drugs except whatever the Lord leaves us.
Where does it say? Where does it call Christian the sinner?
Wait, say that again?
Well, first off, my first business, I'm a tree. If you see all these axes and chainsaws hanging around here, it's because I run a tree business. Pretty small one, just me, and I hire a few helping hands when I need them, but I'm the one that knows how to do all the climbing and cutting, so I don't need anyone else. And happy birthday, Ilo Weeno. Then I also buy and sell ginseng and also dig ginseng. I just made a $2,800 ginseng sale for 2 pounds of it. So, and the 2 pounds I paid probably about $250 for. So that's over $1,000 profit right there. Then I also am in the gold and silver business with my brother, where I buy gold and silver at scrap prices, and we send it to the melt, and it gets melted down, and we get 98% of its value. So as long as we buy under 98% of the actual metal weight value, we make money. And also lately I've been getting into flipping all sorts of shit. Flipping Pokemon cards, flipping I got this Keurig right here that somebody gave me when they were moving out of their house. And I looked it up on eBay and they're $200. So I'm cleaning it up and I'm gonna put it on eBay. Also, I don't know if any of y'all were here when I started growing my spinach, but it's starting to look like spinach, y'all. It's pretty impressive. I'll bring it over here and show y'all here in a second.
It doesn't call them sinners, but it says that you still sin.
And I got a new tomato plant.
In you, okay, in the flesh.
Okay,
And then, Paul says that it's the sin in me.
Yes.
Vino. Is that a bad word you're tricking me into saying?
Your identity's changed.
Yes, of course.
Correct.
I love vino. Happy birthday. Oh, I love wiener. That's what you're trying to get me to say, you fucking weirdo.
We have nothing, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not it.
I don't care. The more comments, the better. Maybe you'll help me get famous. Famous young country boy.
If you say you have no sin, having something doesn't mean you are something.
But the thing is, Adam,
famous young Appalachian male.
When God is teaching us plenty of things.
Orthodox Christian, Orthodox LumberJak, Appalachian male.
Like we can't say, oh, since I'm already forgiven.
Yeah, I told her.
I don't have to worry about asking for forgiveness again, because what will happen is you can get into a part of your life where you become reprobate to your sin.
No, that's emotional argument.
Hey, Liza.
It's good, it's better, Codex, but it's just a little lower.
I want to have an emotional argument
My kitty cat came in to say hello.
Look
at the kitty. Look at that kitty. She's such a sweetheart.
Emotional, like what I'm saying is this is essentially.
She's such a sweet kitty.
Doctrine. And
you need down?
God is showing us warning after warning after warning and how we should endure. And if picking up your cross isn't part of that endurance, then just drop your cross and just walk and do what you want to do.
Right.
I guess nobody's calling in. Maybe I should start doing TikTok. I feel like TikTok, there's a lot crazier people that want to call in and debate, you know?
So it's not any works that you should be trying to perform. Like meaning I'm not gonna go go around doing all the good deeds and go, see God, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, God, look what I did. That's not the works that God is asking you to do. He's asking you to be obedient.
I got 2 girls and 1 boy, but the girls are the troublemakers.
Like what?
Go pray for someone in line at the grocery.
And all my cats are, I got a black, that one was my gray and white. She's like Russian blue with white on her. and she's the princess. And then I got a black and white cow cat. That's a girl, that's mine, and my mom has a black and white cow cat that's a boy, that's hers. And he's so long and lanky, the boy, and he just loves running up when the girls are laying there taking a nap in the sun, running up to him as fast as he can and standing over them to let them know I'm dominant, or I got you covered. I don't know what he's doing. It's so cute though. They love to play.
That the apostles died brutally as living sacrifices, and did we not?
Yeah, cow.
Not even just what a few years ago. I think it was some Muslim Christians were being beheaded by ISIS over their faith.
Middle Eastern Christians.
Middle Eastern, yeah. And it's
Nigeria
like,
today.
yeah, and look at Nigeria today. We actually have people willing to be living sacrifices to God. And if you
Alright, goofies. Y'all always whining and complaining.
Biblical devastation. Washing homes and neighborhoods away. Hardest hit North Carolina, where every single county has been impacted.
After Hurricane Helene turned our state upside down, Michael Watley was tapped to lead the recovery. But on Watley's watch,
And he sucked.
disaster relief delayed.
Fuck that dude.
Lost their homes, denied. And funding to fix
He didn't give me no insurance for my shit.
Tell Michael Watley, do your job. Release all
Oh,
recovery
peep this,
funds
y'all.
now.
I just got this PSA 10
My name is Mark Gagnon, and thank
Red
you
Eyes Black Dragon
Every Sunday we explore the most interesting, fascinating, controversial stories from every religion from around the world, from all time, forever.
attribute rare.
We have a fantastic episode. So glad
Or
you joined us.
attribute
And, truly, I wanna say thank
error,
you so much to you
GER.
for clicking on this video.
What
Every
does
time you
that
support
mean?
the
What
video, every
what
time
kind
you
of error?
comment or like or
What kind of
subscribe,
error
you
is
help the
this?
channel
It's
grow
got
and
a
keep
10
on
though.
intent. And of course,
Why
you
does
keep
it say
following
error?
here at the campsite. As a side note, most of the people that watch the channel are not subscribed, which is sometimes a good thing. We got 50,000 subscribers, is pretty good, but then we'll get 100,000 views, and I'm like, where are all these people come from? So,
Anybody know?
go ahead and subscribe.
Read that
the show, and it helps.
Thing at the top for me and figure out
World. I mean, this guy Christos over here.
how cool this shit is.
He's living a life of luxury. I'm over here just, slaving away, right? I need some demons where I can have them produce the pod.
The BBC lifestyle, what the fuck is that?
Because I saw a comment that said, "How dare you be so rude to one of your coworkers? I'm never listening to this episode ever again." And that person unsubscribed and they said, "You're being too mean to Christos." In their defense, they were right. They were completely right? Oh my goodness! I tried being nice to you for a whole 5 minutes and it pissed me off. Anyway, guys, we have a fantastic episode. I'm so excited for you guys to dive into this with me. This is
This
is kind of a behemoth, I should say, because Solomon is, of course, a very important figure in the Old Testament, in Jewish literature and in the Jewish religion, as well as in Islam, Suleiman, and as well as Christian philosophy. I mean,
I need to make it where y'all can see.
Some Protestant Christians are good guys, a lot of Solomons.
My TV.
And today we're going to be discussing specifically the Renaissance era idea of Solomon being the master of demons, and how this has parlayed into Freemasonry and for power, and even current geopolitical battles of trying to rebuild the Third Temple in Israel. There's all sorts of stuff in here. And up top, there's a few things. One, I grew up Christian. I'm Catholic, so that's kind of my worldview and my perspective on the world. And if there's anything in here that I missed about Islamic belief or Jewish belief, just know that's not my intention. I apologize. If I missed anything or skip over anything, drop a comment. I'm only interested in the truth, so let me know. And I would gladly correct the record. Furthermore, I also want to acknowledge that this is not something that's widely held in Jewish philosophy.
What are you talking about?
Owns a deli down the street. He might have never even heard of this. But this is
what are you talking about? Attributes.
Talmud and a lot of Jewish folklore that talks about this lesser key, this ring that Solomon possessed. But
the Mikado. What are you talking about?
He's one of the most famous biblical kings. He's
You fucking. Damn it, the Midicado. You made me spill my soda. Now I gotta go back in and get a fucking another one and restart everything. Thanks to you, everybody. Thanks, Bicado.
She's like, what is it you want? It's yours. And you let her just sit there and think about it. And, you know, most people would ask for wealth. You know, that's not obvious, or power, or maybe a long life. Solomon asked for wisdom. Very true. In order to govern his people justly. And God is so impressed by this humility in this request, that God grants Solomon not just wisdom, but also wealth and the honor that he didn't even ask for. Solomon becomes the complete package, the wisest and the richest king of his era. At least this is how the biblical writers will remember it. Then you get to the story that made his reputation. Two young women come before Solomon. Both are claiming to be the mother of the same baby. And, you know, all the people in that time were ethnically pretty similar. So that was it. It would have been really easy if there was just like a black woman or a white woman. It would have been like, well, we could take a guess. But everyone over there was, you know, probably, you know, Middle Eastern looking. So he was like, all right, how are we going to settle this? So he proposes cutting the child in half and giving each woman a share of the baby. Now, one woman agrees to this horrific solution, was like, yeah, of course, no problem. The other begs Solomon to spare the child and just give it to the other woman. She says, look, I love this child so much, just give it to her. I'd rather he lives than to be cut in half. And Solomon identifies that woman as the true mother. Now, it's kind of a crazy story in the modern day, but it captures what the Bible wants you to see, that wisdom is the ability to see through appearances and to have clever solutions for some of the most difficult problems that are ever brought before the king. Then we have Solomon's biggest project. This is the one that ultimately defines his legacy and really cements him in Jewish and Christian literature, is that he constructs the first temple in Jerusalem. This was meant to be a permanent dwelling place for God and ultimately God's presence on earth. And it is the holiest site in Judaism. It is designed to house the Ark of the Covenant itself. So biblical writers are now describing a project on like an unimaginable scale. Tens of thousands of workers just coming in and out of these quarries and these building sites, and whole forests of cedar are cut down in Lebanon and they're floated down on rafts, and there's gold being hammered into these thin layers to be put on doors and furnishings on every surface. It's all glowing. It's the most beautiful thing you can imagine. The interior is carved with cherubim, palm trees, and flowers. A man-made like Garden of Eden on this hilltop. It's like it must have been a sight, is what the least you could say, right? Later Jewish and Christian imagination sometimes describes the temple stones as so perfectly cut and fitted that they seemed superhuman in their craftsmanship. But in the biblical account itself, this is a massive yet entirely human undertaking. It's absolutely remarkable and miraculous, maybe. Now, according to the Bible, the text credits Solomon's organization and resources and
Right, motherfucker.
No supernatural assistance so far. So where does this whole demon thing come from? Well, the unofficial version starts at a very strange place. It's a text called the Testament.
Yeah, dude, you gotta get fucking.
It's what scholars call.
You gotta get either. The cinnamon ones are spicy as hell. I like those with coffee. Spearmint ones are good. But really, I've heard my boy Jay Dyer put me on, said that the Alps, Tucker Carlson's brand is in, are way better and health or cleaner.
Solomon's favorite workers, this young boy helping with temple construction, and every day the demon would come at dusk when the day's wages were.
I don't know where I put my wrap.
And then he would take half the boy's food, and then through his thumb he would drain something that the text itself calls the boy's life essence, and it leaves him weaker and thinner each night. Now, in the text, which again is not biblical, it's not seen as a metaphor. That's how the text describes it. The demon is literally feeding off of the child's pay and the food to sustain him and his nourishment and ultimately his life force. Now, Solomon notices that his, most favorite worker is wasting away and demands to know what's wrong with him. So that when the boy finally tells him about these visits from this demon, Solomon is devastated and angry, and he goes into the temple and he prays intensely to God for help. And the archangel Michael appears.
Fuck it, we use another one.
Engraved with a special seal, and later traditions would call this the seal of Solomon. And using this ring, Solomon has the boy throw it at Orneas, this demon, stamping the demon with the seal and forcing him into submission. But Solomon doesn't just banish the creature. He's very clever. Again, he is the wisest king. He interrogates Orneas, demanding the names and the weaknesses of all the other spirits. And one by one, he uses this information and his given ring to bind more demons and basically to put a seal on them, to stamp them, and he puts them to work. So instead of relying on human labor alone, Solomon is portrayed as commanding this invisible workforce of spirits, basically to cut stones and haul materials and to construct God's house. And the theological irony here is fun, right? You have these unclean spirits, these entities opposed to God that are forced
and it got wet from the Dr. Pepper
on earth for God to dwell. And the text seems to like enjoy the contradiction, almost leans into it. Now, what's interesting is that each demon in the text has this specific function, this appearance, a characteristic way of attacking humans, a specific angel or divine name.
Yeah, bro. Packs.
Orneas, for example,
I get Pokemon card packs sometimes, but this Yu-Gi-Oh one was just calling me because it's a PSA 10. I was like, fuck it, I have to have it.
And the message here
but
is that this is
I've been buying Pokemon packs. In fact, I just got a few the other night where there's these ones at gas stations where you can buy 5 holographic cards for about $6, and I got a reverse hollow Team Rocket Arbok, which I thought was pretty cool.
Now, you can chalk this up to late weird folklore, which is completely reasonable. You know, there's a lot of different grimoires or
just another addiction to get me putting money into.
Jewish folklore and Christian and Islamic, but another major religion also.
I actually literally just got them for the first time 2 days ago.
I've been working out pretty consistently.
So no, I don't really get Pokemon cards a lot at my age, but I have gotten them in the past couple days.
The results kind of just stopped like matching
but
effort.
They just pile up too quick, so I
results at the gym. I would get
sell the bulk of them, keep the good ones.
And I assumed like
it's a hustle, just like anything,
right? You know, guys when they hit their 30s, testosterone naturally goes down.
Oh, you think I'm broke?
When that happens, your body literally starts.
I literally just sold ginseng that I paid $100 for $1,800. You want to see broke, bitch? Hold on, wait right here.
This fat, it's a cycle that keeps on going around. And so I started taking Watchmen, and honestly, I've been on it for a while, and I've actually noticed a difference. This is going to sound crazy. This is real. 2024, I did blood work. My testosterone was like fine. It was like on the lower side of normal. And I did blood work recently, completely unrelated to this. And I've been taking Mars Men for, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months. My testosterone went up. Now, I don't know if it's from Mars Men. I'm not going to say it's only them. You know, maybe I've been eating a little cleaner. I've been sleeping better. Who knows? But my testosterone actually got an increase. I couldn't believe it. My energy feels steadier throughout the day. My workouts have been better. And going to summer, I'm actually like leaning out in a way that I feel better about. Now, Mars Men is a natural supplement. I don't even have it in the studio because it's at my house. There's no synthetic hormones, no sketchy stimulants, just actual ingredients like Tangat Ali, zinc, boron, and they're designed to actually support healthy testosterone levels. Now, look, you can just go buy all of these supplements yourself. You can go buy Tangat Ali, Shilajit, but you got to make sure they're from the right place. You got to make sure they're the right quality. And it can get expensive to actually like parse it all together. But with most men, it's just all of it.
Hey, let's see who's broke.
It's made in the USA. It was
let's see who's broke, motherfuckers.
91% of users actually report higher energy. Now here's the crazy with Mars Men. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee. 90 days, 3 months.
Hold on, let me stack it up right for you.
Your money back, zero risk, and for a limited time, for people who are listening to this program, you're gonna get 50% off for life. I don't know how often this offer comes around. I don't know why they're doing this. 50% off for life, free shipping, and 3.
And this is just what I got. This is just what I got in cash. This ain't even counting the bank accounts.
It's also available on Amazon.
You crazy? You think you got more bread than me, fool?
I like natural supplements, and it makes me feel good. Now, when asked where you heard about it, tell them to go through what
Look at all these hundreds.
It really helps to show more than you know.
Look at all these hundreds, boy.
Now, across the desert, centuries later, another
That's
tradition
probably
would add another
at least 6K right there.
In Islamic tradition, Solomon, also known as Suleiman in Arabic, is granted extraordinary gifts from
What wrong with
He
you?
understands the speech of birds. He
What
can
wrong
order
with you?
the wind to basically move like a vehicle, and he's given.
Oh, I got a nice bathroom, buddy. I live in. This is my shed. We're in my shed, my man cave where I build axes. My house is over there, where I have 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I'm doing just fine. I run my own tree business, my own ginseng business, and help my brother run his gold and silver business.
Kind of lives besides human.
No, it ain't prop money. You want to see?
Mainstream Islamic literature.
It'll save prop money on it. Look. It'll save prop money if it's prop money. Fuck you. Fuck wrong with y'all. Where does it say prop money?
From the human side, all you see is a king on a throne and these impossible building projects being finished ahead of schedule. Now, the Quran's most haunting scene comes at the end of Suleiman's life.
Where does it say prop money? Y'all mad that people out here who make real money?
That's what they think. In reality, he dies on his feet.
This isn't a cheap ass watch, fool. This is a G-Shock. This is the most expensive G-Shock that tells me my heart rate, which is the only reason I wanted it. And I like G-Shock. Y'all some stupid ass. Y'all must be some real youngsters in the chat to be hating on G-Shock, because G-Shock has been there for us since your daddy was in prison, since your mama was in the club twerking up on the bartender. I mean, come on now. Don't hate on G-Shock just because you ain't got no G-Shock, fool. That's why as a tree guy, I got custom handmade boots. My rent money, I don't need rent money. You don't need rent money when you own your land, when you own your property. You just need tax money once a year, and that's easy, baby. I don't even need mortgage money. Why do you think I can hold on to all this money? Because I don't have all of the same bills as y'all. Yeah, I'm broke, but I got almost 10 grand sitting in front of me, and you don't. You ain't got. Fuck your cars. Your cars ain't shit to mine. Plus, I'm a truck guy. I got a fucking Chevy Spider sitting out there.
Clearly being kind of a amalgamation of earlier magical texts kind of put together by anonymous editors. Oftentimes, editors of these books would be persecuted by whatever divine authority they were around, typically the church, so they would typically write it without a name. Now, the LumberJak.
But guess what? Money's not the only one that matters. In fact, what you really need to do is get right with your Lord Jesus Christ, find an holy Orthodox church, and start participating in divine liturgy. Receive the body and blood of Christ. And you may too also attain this amount of wealth.
Kind of morally neutral rather than being explicitly.
See if we can do the money spread. Oh, he money spreading. Oh, he money spreading.
And then you have fourth.
Oh, he money spreading.
Instructions for constructing a wax.
Look at all them hundreds. 1, 5, hundreds, all these hundreds. How are they fake? I literally just showed y'all.
Now, different manuscripts
it's not prop money, it's real money. I just got it like that, and y'all don't. It would say prop money.
Which is a good reminder that the lesser key.
Sure you can, buddy.
It's as much as a.
I'm from the Appalachian Mountains in North Kakalaki. Call in, somebody call in.
Because this is what we find.
But no, this ain't no prop money. And look, hey, let me find the toothpick and I can show y'all.
This isn't mythology in the way that we talk about mythology now. These are step-by-step directions for summoning
Look, look, you can even see this is not prop money because you see that fold.
Now the Goetia reads like a demonic encyclopedia with an operation manual, and basically each of the 72 spirits gets an entry describing their rank. They can either be duped.
You see how that folds underneath the security strip? That's how you know it's.
And it has their appearances and their abilities and the
sigil
used to summon them. You get very vivid
Oh no,
portraits
here's
of the whole
something.
roster of
Look,
demons, some of which are like
this is how you know it's not fake.
as a man on a camel or a dromedary, announced by trumpets and cymbals.
Look,
to teach
it
all
goes
sciences,
underneath.
reveal hidden things, and actually
It
bend
goes
people's will.
underneath.
And then
You can
have
Google it.
Beware, a president,
That's
basically,
how you
who
know it's real
manifests as a
money. It
strange
goes
wheel,
underneath
star of animal
on the
names,
blue
philosophy and
blue
logic,
line right there. There's a
medicine and
little
healing of the
slip,
mind.
and
then
it's
you
got to
have
go
Daniel,
all the
who's
way
a
underneath
duke with many
security
faces. It's
detail.
male and female and holds a book.
Boom, real money, you fucking clowns trying to put another man down on the internet, even though just because you're not doing as good as him, you don't got as pretty a guns as him, as much money as him, and you ain't about to smoke a blunt like
The
him.
really strange part of this entire section of the text is the procedural detail. The Goetia reads like a recipe. Like it's not like vague and like, oh, you know.
And yes, that's $7,000.
Draw this, save this, and then wait for this. For the record, I haven't tried it. I'm free. I'm not touching it room more. I mean, are you going to do a demonic invocation to do something? I get paid enough to do it. Okay. It's almost about money with you, Christ. It's just, it's like, it's crazy. But some people do it, I guess. Like, it's written for someone who actually wants to try it out. So, the question is...
I just don't have a toothpick out in my shed. They're inside where I eat, you dumb fuck.
Why not, like, 5 demons? Or
What? Is nobody here to challenge my worldview on
oftentimes in Jewish
Christianity? Are y'all too scared that you can't debate
This is
me?
very important. Later occultists look at that number and they essentially build a shadow version of it, where some traditions imagine 72 names of God. Later grimoires talk about 72 demons. Again, it is this kind of dark inversion. Instead of a full map of holy
So
places, you get a
fun.
full roster of hostile
You
evil
motherfuckers online.
Goetia lays out exactly 72 spirits under Solomon's command. It's not just saying like, here's some demons, check it out. It's suggesting that Solomon sits at the center of this massive supernatural tapestry. Like
Maybe I
filing
should.
system, a way to see the names and like potentially command every different type of spirit that there is. And in that framing, it's not just information, it is a blueprint for control, which is why in a lot of modern, religious and even like fringe kind of occult conversations, the real question is, it's not like, oh, did Solomon exist? It's like, who has these secrets now? And this is what real occultists and people in the modern day are really talking about. Now, the modern imagination, Solomon's name shows up not just in grimoires and the Quran and the Bible. It comes up in arguments about Freemasonry and demonic control, and even plans to rebuild the Third Temple in Jerusalem today. Historically, modern Freemasonry is debated really when it starts, but typically it's attributed to like the 17th, 18th century as a they would describe it like a moral philosophy and a place for men to gather and fraternize, and it uses the building of Solomon's temple as a central allegory. Masonic rituals tracing all the way back to medieval stonemason guilds, symbolically placing members at the construction site of the first temple, and they stand alongside Solomon and King Hiram of Tyre and the legendary master builder known as Hiram of Biff. And the temple becomes a metaphor for building this inner temple of virtue in the soul, not a literal blueprint for physical building projects. At least that's how they would describe it. And oftentimes when people think like, oh, Masons, like Freemasons, like what these, oftentimes people understand this to meaning they're talking about Masons that actually built the temple, right? Like once you hear it, you're like, oh, that actually makes some sense. If you visit Grand Masonic headquarters like the Masonic Temple in Philly or other historic lodges, you'll find rooms designed to mimic or evoke King Solomon's temple, with pillars labeled Yakin and Boaz, checkerboard floors, and starry ceilings meant to represent the heavens. Masonic writers repeatedly stress that these are symbolic. They say it's a part of the drama about moral growth and craftsmanship and all that stuff, not instructions for rebuilding a temple or controlling
dollar
data,
store
fully
phone.
structured, they say.
What
Now,
you mean? I got two Samsungs.
Circles and Islamic circles and a lot of conspiratorial circles. The story
I just
also
don't
much
like
more different.
iPhones
Critics
because
sometimes
they're
argue that
glitchy and
because
they
Freemasonry
suck.
uses Solomon's temple as a model.
Small?
Because it speaks about the great
Buddy, I'm about to re-up, but that's a good zip left.
Resurrect Solomon's
Usually
temple
this jar is full.
as a part of this
Then
apocalyptic end times plan.
a whole ounce of wax, actually 2 ounces of wax. You don't know what I got, and I don't need to show you what I got, pussy boy.
Solomon's symbols, they get interpreted.
Oh yeah, I can't afford it, you fucking clown.
To, control politics and finance and global religion, all under this Solomon-inspired blueprint. And then you add the grimoires to the mix. I mean, the picture gets crazier.
Pull up to my house, see what happens to you, fool.
Solomon deals with summoning and commanding demons, and some writers just kind of push the two streams together, and they claim that Freemasons are using Solomonic magic, and their great architect is actually demonic power. Now, specifically, we talked about those pillars that are found in basically every Masonic lodge ever. They have these two pillars, Yakin and Boaz, and they literally come straight from the Bible or the Tanakh.
Sounding hard.
1 Kings chapter 7.
See, I don't understand you little kids or half the shit y'all say. I'm a grown man. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Thanks for the views, though.
And they're not structural supports. They're just meant to symbolize.
Thanks for the views.
Freemasons really jumped onto it. This year, that Freemasons basically use this symbolic system of craft, like stonemasonry and moral lessons, and this mythic idea of Solomon's temple that when you walk in, you're entering wisdom, and there's a duality where you have strength versus stability, action
I'm
versus
sure
strength.
you do, honey.
You don't become better by picking a side. You have to use both, and you have to, understand the balance of the universe. And another important element here is the moral architecture. Masons think that, life is like building a building or building a structure. You have Boaz, that is the power to act, and then you have Yakin, the ability to create something that lasts. And ideally, you need to use both. Now, if you go to ex-Masonic forums or anti-Freemasonry blogs, you're going to find accusations that the lodge is actually a cover for Solomonic enlightenment, and that its symbols hide pacts with fallen angels, or that its rituals echo the demon binding of the Goetia. Freemasons and scholars, for their part, push back, and they point out that the craft's rituals are just, biblical, moral, and symbolic, and that the grimoires, like the Lesser Key, come from separate occult traditions.
I couldn't tell you, Ryan. He's something. That's all I know. I doubt. I'd hate for him to be American, but Lord knows he probably is.
This is a trigger for the end times, the return of the Messiah, or the rise of the Antichrist. And because that temple is imagined as a restoration of Solomon's original building,
sneaking out to smoke at mommy's house, me? You're funny. It's literally 5 in the morning. I'm getting ready for work at my house.
Solomon and his temple play a huge part in.
Yeah, that's my real phone number right there. Give me a call.
Religious movements. And yes, some critics really do connect that to end-time plots and demonic control, but those things are very big and.
Oh, did you call me? Sorry, I must have missed
They're
it.
largely theories. No one really knows. There's not necessarily.
Here, I'll call you back.
This is just
I'm calling you back, Pat.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break because I want to talk to you about something that happens in your late 20s, early 30s that no one tells you. That basically your ability.
Why are you ducking my calls? I just tried calling you back. I'm calling you. You're ducking my calls. You tried calling me one time. You tried calling me one time, but won't answer my calls. What are you, star 67? Like a pussy? It rings once and he hits hang up, so it goes to voicemail. That's how you know he's scared. Wasting my time. Yo. Sorry? When did I say anyone was supposed to be afraid of me? What the fuck? Are you delusional? No, okay. Hey, dumbass, do me a favor and look at the title of the stream. It's a debate stream. Yeah, obviously, if nobody's calling me, this dumb motherfucker thought I'm trying to fight him from across the country. Yellow?
What's the topic you want to debate about?
Well, I'm an Orthodox Christian. So what stance do you come from? Are you religious, secular?
Hello?
You? Yellow?
Hello?
You hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Hello? Guess I'm gonna hang up now.
You hear me?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Motherfucker acted like he couldn't hear me when he definitely could. Wow, there are some emotional men out there. Imagine being so emotional that you hear one thing wrong. He was mad that I said, looks like everybody's scared to debate tonight because nobody was calling in. And I was saying that just jokingly. Obviously, I'm not like some big scary debater. And this guy called in. He's like, "What's up? What's up? You said I'm scared? Yeah, let's go. You said I'm scared. Here I am. What's up?" And I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" Hello? Hello?
Hey, how about let's not hang up this time, bro?
I didn't hang up.
I think you did. I didn't.
Well, it must have been because I thought you hung up.
Okay, fair enough.
Were you
So you said that, and you never said we were scared, but now you said you were just kidding that you said that.
No. Let me get my point across. All right. Well, the title of the debate is the title of the stream is.
You could answer the question, but okay.
Sorry.
You could answer my first question before you go on, but okay, go ahead.
This is answering your question.
It's not.
Your question was about why I'm calling everyone scared.
No, that wasn't my first. My question is that I said you said that. You said you never said that. Now you're saying you did say that.
No. I said that in reference to the debate stream that I'm doing, you thick-skulled pig.
I don't think you know what the truth is, bud.
I think you're far from the truth. You sound like some sort of Gnostic with your secret knowledge.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're reading a lot into nothing, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Okay. I guess so. You seem like a real tough guy. I'm real scared of you.
I didn't say you're supposed to be scared. You're the one on a live stream saying everyone's scared and jealous of you. I'm just calling to see what's up.
I respond to my chat, you absolute moron. I respond to people in my chat. If you get butthurt over something I say to somebody else in chat, how's that my fault? You fucking pipsqueak. What's that make you, a snowflake? That's what they're calling y'all these days?
I think you need to lay off the meth, bro.
Oh, the meth. Yeah, the meth will do it. Yeah, after I just got 7 hours of sleep and I'm getting ready to go cut some trees down.
Functional meth head, I guess.
Oh yeah, functional meth head. Are you just mad? Are you just mad because you're a fat, slobby piece of shit and I still have abs?
How do you know who I am? You've seen me?
Well, it seems like you're pretty jealous of a skinny person, so you must be a fat person. If you're jealous of a skinny person, then you're clearly a fat fuck, and your wife's probably divorced you. You don't have any kids that want to be around you.
You live in an imaginary world, dude.
No, I live in a great world. That's the thing. My world is so great that I could live outside. I don't even have to go outside of my world, and it's perfect.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop whining. What's the debate? Let's actually debate. Like, what is it that
nobody's been whining the whole time except you, buddy.
Let's move on, though. Okay.
Okay. What do you want to debate?
What's your channel? I don't know. What are you looking to debate?
I'm an Orthodox Christian. I hold to all dogmas of the Eastern Orthodox Christian Church, and prove me wrong or prove your religion right.
What proof do you accept?
Historical, evidential, pretty much anything. I'm open to anything, to tiered degrees. Like some things will hold more weight, some things will hold less.
So, like, what would be one example of a piece of proof that if I had that would prove to you something?
Well, what are you trying to prove?
Well, you're saying you're asking to prove that Orthodox Christianity is untrue. Is that what?
So you want to disprove Christianity?
No, I'm asking what you want to prove.
I already know Christianity is true.
Okay, how do you prove that?
Easy. Revelation, divine revelation.
To you?
No, to the church fathers, the apostles that pass it down through the church fathers. That's why all of our bishops, even in my church out here in North Carolina, has a list, a scroll actually, that goes down every bishop that has laid hands and blown on them, going back all the way to Jesus and the apostle that started our church. That would mean we have apostolic succession, which if you look in the Bible, Jesus says when he breathes on the apostles and he says, you now have the keys to bind and loose on heaven as on earth. That means you have the right to forgive and remit sins as on earth as in heaven, which means there were human men sent out to lay their hands on other good human Christian men to be able to forgive sins if you confess to the Lord. So if you don't have that at your church, you're automatically out. So the Catholics, the Orthodox, and the Oriental Orthodox are the only ones standing, and all the couple other ancient schismatic churches, but I can take those down for other reasons.
Yeah, then that's proof. What you just said is proof.
Well, that's my paradigm. Proof as far as
yeah, okay, I'm waiting for the proof. I guess. Okay, go ahead.
Proof as far as the religion is the fact that we have well over thousands more manuscripts than any other document. We have the oldest remaining manuscripts, and all the manuscripts line up to, depending on which scholar you ask, 93 to 98%. And the Shroud of Turin is clearly something that could not.
Shroud of Turin, genius.
That's what I said.
Turin.
No, I didn't. You just hearing wrong. I said
Turin.
No, I said the Shroud. I said the Shroud of Turin.
Do you realize you're being recorded?
Yes. All right, buddy. This motherfucker's just trying to gaslight me like I didn't, like I said the Shroud of Turton or whatever he said. Did I not just say the Shroud of Turin? That dude is what you call a professional gaslighter. That's all they do in a debate. They try and gaslight you so you can't get to press them on their issues. And those are the worst people to debate. Not because they're good, just because they're annoying, condescending, and they think that they're better than everyone. You could tell he was such a smug atheist. And he said, have some more meth, bro. Like, buddy, I'm literally rolling up some weed. Just woke up from probably 9 hours of sleep so I can get ready to go to work. Yeah, sure, but yeah, we can be smug because we have evidence on our side. Exactly. I don't know if that was to me or against me and Rube, but I'm going to take that it's for me because it can go both ways, and we definitely have the evidence. He never even let me get to the evidence that all the manuscripts line up, that all the prophecies that Jesus fulfilled, Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. It's just so obvious, man. How can you be that? What we call it in the Orthodox Church, what that guy's experiencing, is spiritual prelust. I am sober and alert at all times. Yeah, prelust. It's one word. No space. And it doesn't mean it's not like lust sexually. Yeah, I'm sober of mind. I'm sober of mind enough that I'm going to go climb trees with a chainsaw and cut them up. I'm always sober, buddy. But God also puts medicinal plants. Yeah, you can look it up. It's an Orthodox term. It's just it's usually spiritual prelust. It's when, you read your Bible and you think that you have some sort of secret knowledge, or something that the church didn't get, like, hey, priest, I think y'all are interpreting this wrong. It should be interpreted how I read it. All good. That's what I'm here for, to teach. Yes, but Ander Bob, do you do no sins? Let thy with no sins cast the first stone. We are all going to sin. That's why we have Christ who died on the cross for us. I do my best to not sin. I'm working on not vaping. I'm trying not to buy another cart after this one that's almost gone. You can pretty much, we all have our struggles, but I follow the Holy Spirit in my heart. When did I call you a heretic?
This is the story of how it all began. Only on QVC Plus and HSN Plus.
When did I say Ander Rob is a heretic? Please tell me.
Anytime, anywhere on QVC Plus and HSN Plus. Download the free TV app or visit QVCplus.com to start watching now.
Oh. That's cool if you want to. Talking to me? I'm not making sense. First off, Catholicism is a whole separate religion. Catholicism has a completely different ecclesial structure than the Orthodox Church. We were once the same church. Facts, Grandma Faith. I know all the Catholic stuff too. I was Catholic before I became Orthodox and woke up that the papacy was founded on forgeries. The East has a different ecclesiology, so there's a reason that it sounds different than what your Catholic friend tells you. The Catholics hold to purgatory while we hold to toll houses and the noose. The Catholics added the filioque without approval of the council. The council removed the pope. Clearly the councils are higher than the pope, yet nowadays they say the pope is an infallible authority. No one in the Orthodox Church is infallible. Every single bishop has to agree for something to be considered dogma, something you must believe. Hell Sinister, if you'd like to call in, I can explain to you why I'm not a Catholic. I'm not Christian, never found faith, but never has ever convinced me to believe, but I want to. I would look into the Orthodox Church because I was the same way. I was secular, I was in the world, I was doing drugs, I didn't believe in God. If I believed in New Age crap. But one day it just hit me after I was coming down off opiates, and I started realizing everyone that I know around me, every grown man around me with something going for him, was a Christian. Whether they had a business that was doing really well, a house, kids, a wife that loved them and was pretty. This was like when I was in high school, they were all Christians. Then I went down to Florida for a little bit and lived with my aunt and uncle, and all of the rich people around there were Christians. I went out doing interviews on some of the richest properties in Florida, like, Ybor City, Tampa, all that area, just finding people with mega mansions and asking them, hey, what'd you do to get here? And uh, what do you think is the single most reason that you made it here? And like 95% of their answers were Jesus Christ. So after that, I was like, man, there's got to be something about this. But I really hated, I don't like using the word hate, but I have such disdain for the New Age churches. But I had never heard of Catholics. I had heard of Catholics, but, never thought much of them. I had never heard of the Orthodox Church, which was when the original one church split into two. It split into the Greek Orthodox and the Roman Catholics. So, and even Martin Luther in his 95 Thesis posted on it, I've never seen a better Christian than the Greek, talking about Orthodox. So I started looking into Orthodoxy, and it makes so much more sense than Catholicism. In the first 1,000 years of Christianity, the church was Orthodox because they allowed priests to get married. It wasn't until Rome really Romanized it, Latinized Christianity, and then started saying, hey, no, our Pope is infallible. What he says, go. When beforehand, it was more like a company, and the CEO can get fired if we hold a council. Now, as far as believing in God, period, nothing has never come from nothing. Nothing has to come from something. So, by definition, something had to have put all of this in place. And he wanted us to have free will to choose him. So, it's kind of like, it's a tough position. I understand. I've been there. But once I found the Orthodox Church and how serious and reverent their liturgy is, and then I started understanding, oh, this is how worship is supposed to be done in the new covenant. It's not supposed to be rock and roll guitar bands. It's supposed to be incense, a priest, chants, chants of prayer to the Lord. It's supposed to, when you walk in, look like you're stepping into Revelation 5 through 9, where John sees the cloud of saints coming down with Christ, praying with the saints holding golden baskets of incense of our prayers. So, it's just something that you really got to work on, and you have to keep your eyes open as to, there's clearly good and evil in this world. If you believe in good and evil, Christ and God are good. They are the essence of good. So if you want to be on the good guys team, there's only one team to choose. And believing in all of the supernatural stuff could even come later if you just start reading his gospels and following his teachings. He's the best man that's ever been on the planet because he is God. He's truly God and truly man. And to you, Grandma Faith, I'm going to start trying to do more live streams. I've been very busy with my business, as y'all can tell, but I'm trying to get back to it. Oh. Ooh, what did I want to watch on Prime Video? Well, it's the JWs. They're inside a cult, so they're not living their life to the fullest, and they're sacrificing in order to have those goodies. But ultimately, what is anything for a man to sacrifice his soul? Because those people have sacrificed their souls. I'm in the Appalachian of NC. I'm in outside Asheville. But honestly, I don't even know about that. Yeah, they're a cult. With Jehovah's Witnesses, because they dedicate like 60 hours a week volunteering, and also Jehovah's Witnesses are very cult like. I gotta look it up. Oh, Charlotte. Y'all got some good churches over there. Of course. Please come back, man, and hopefully we can help you out some more. I appreciate the compliment. Let me bless you before you go, brother. In nomine Patris, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, in nomine Yeshua, Amen. Have a blessed day. And also look up the Transcendental Argument for God. Jay Dyer has a great video on it. 28 years later. I mean, that's all right. You should, but Jesus says, whoever does not eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood has no life in him. So you probably should find an Orthodox church just to go to once a week, but it's your life. Live it however you like. As long as Christ is a part of it, people can be saved through extra normative means of salvation. You've been a wonderful lady to have in the chat today. Okay, what about Exodus? We're in the new covenant, brother. We don't have to worry about Exodus.
Planetary Design Coffee here. How much did it cost me to hire the male law officers?
Not a thing.
It didn't cost me anything to hire the male law officers.
What, $0?
Absolutely nothing. I didn't know that it could be free.
I want to bring on now Jay Dyer. Jay is a well-known YouTuber, a Christian apologist, a theologian, and podcaster. He discusses topics from Christianity to geopolitics to the deep state. Jay, one of the most important issues on the international stage right now is the issue of the ever-expanding, ever-increasing number of Jewish settlements in traditionally Palestinian lands, especially, of course, in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. There was an article in Haaretz about a week ago saying that by Christmas of this year, there will be no Christians left in Nazareth. There have been Christians in Nazareth for more than 2,000 years, and they'll be gone. Bethlehem is another traditionally
I've
Christian
read
city,
the New
village that will
Testament.
soon no longer be Christian. And that may account for
Yeah,
reason
the
why
law
there's
is
so many
forever, but
Palestinian Christians in the
the
United
law,
States. They've
the
been
Old
forced out.
Testament law was fulfilled
Do you see
in
any
Christ,
way
and
to
now
reverse this trend?
by
Is the
fulfilling
US
Christ's one
all
law,
in
we
to
fulfill
help
them
the
all.
Israeli government push religious minorities out of the Holy Land?
But you do need to drink his blood and eat his flesh.
Locus of change would have to be waking up more and more people to the problems of Christian Zionism. That's something that we focused a lot on my channel in the last several years. And so many people in the Bible Belt and in the Midwest, they've really been captive to this false ideology, which makes them think that they have a religious duty to support a modern atheist socialistic nation state that was really sort of the experiment, you could say, of the British Empire, and even before that, Rothschild interest to sort of set up a pilgrimage site, which eventually become a tool, a geopolitical tool of the British Empire. So there's really nothing explicitly Christian about it. And the more that you go into historic Christianity prior to modern evangelicalism, there's even less support for any idea of a nation state of Israel or some sort of Zionist state that we have a duty to support. So I think if we can really wrest away from the mindset, the grip that this idea has on so many people in America and the Bible Belt will probably be a lot better down the road, at least in terms of removing this subversion. This foreign subversion is really what it is, and it's been entrenched for so long that it's really difficult to get rid of it. But beyond that, I think beyond the theological side of it, there's the more geopolitical power influence of the control of foreign policy, which has really probably been there for decades.
You're in a cult. You're in a cult of unbelieving.
Desert Storm,
and yours actually will end badly. Ours will end goodly. Yours will end with you burning. Ours will end with us in paradise.
Battle within the political sphere. There's, at least in the last couple of years, as you know, there's been a huge rift within MAGA for those who are beginning to wake up to this, and those who are, I would say, still agents of subversion and influence. So if we can continue to really push that rift, I think we can see some change.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was one of the things I wanted to jump into right away. Alan Dershowitz, the famous, maybe infamous professor emeritus of law at Harvard University, and the mentor to Senator Ted Cruz, once said that Ted Cruz was the smartest student that he ever had. But then in a recent interview, that I know, right? I gotta chuckle out of it too.
It's hard not to giggle at that one.
In a recent interview that Ted Cruz had with Tucker Carlson, he was intellectually unprepared for the questions that Tucker had for him about these very issues. Now, I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell you that years ago, I was an adjunct professor of intelligence studies at Liberty University, which is the biggest evangelical university in the world. I'm an Orthodox Christian, like you are. I'm not evangelical, but they liked my position on torture. They said that torture wasn't Christian, and would I like to teach these classes? I said yes. I'm glad that I did. They were lovely people, but we had fundamental disagreements on the role of evangelical Christianity in the Middle East. I would posit that there is no role for evangelical Christianity in the Middle East, because evangelical Christianity, in my humble opinion, is an arm of
the deep
Zionism.
state.
And so I was never able to wrap my head around how these Christians, or these people who call themselves Christians, with a straight face, can tell you that they're doing the right thing by supporting Israel as it wipes out ancient Christianity. Do you have any response to that? How is it that they're able to justify this policy to themselves?
Well, to quote John Hagee against you, John, it's the blood moons. The blood moons of Israel show us that Jesus is not the Messiah. I couldn't resist throwing in a John Hagee.
John Hagee.
Now,
oh boy.
I was raised
Bro, using Old Testament passages are such straw mans of our position. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout until you learn how to debate. Give me an actual debate versus a Christian. I'm not Jewish.
What is the history of Christianity in the Middle East? For most Bible Belt, evangelical-minded people, as you would know from being at Liberty, I mean, it's just sort of a question they've never even entertained.
God creates life, so he can take it away. He can make it harsh. He can make your dog die. It's God's prerogative what happens in your life. Yes, the Old Testament was fulfilled. That means all of those ceremonial laws, all of those impurity laws are no more. All we have to do is love our neighbor as we love Christ. Love Christ and love our neighbor as we love Christ.
The church is the spiritual Israel. So really it would be a kind of Judaizing move to go retrograde, to go back to the sort of Old Testament mindset, and to go back to what you said about the persecution of Christianity and sort of stamping it out in those cities. People need to understand, which I didn't understand when I was an evangelical Zionist, that rabbinical Judaism actually pronounces curses on what they call the minim. The Minim are the Christians, and this goes back to the 2nd, 3rd century when there's this fissure between Judaism at that time, which was still proto-rabbinic Judaism, and Christianity going their separate ways. And part of what defines rabbinic Judaism is actually their anti-Christian stance. So that's what the attitude actually is. And if we understand that, I think most Bible Belt people think of Islam as the threat to the West, and I think that is, as I've said, Islam for the last 10 years or so. But they don't understand that it's the same idea, same ideology, perhaps even more vicious within the Talmudic and rabbinic teachings that really require serious practitioners of Judaism to use any means necessary, really, to get rid of Christianity. So, yeah, everything you said is correct, but I just simply think that the people in the Bible Belt probably just never even entertained these types of questions.
With this expansion of settlements, with war against Iran, well, it's not just against Iran, it's against Lebanon, it's against Syria, it's against Christians in the West Bank. What do you think of the notion that's floating around now that the Israelis have been emboldened to the point where they might even consider attacking or dismantling the Al-Aqsa Mosque in order to then build the third temple, which they believe they are religiously driven to do. They've been commanded by God to do. Is that something that we should expect to see?
It's definitely a possibility. I think that if you study the history of Israeli operations, the Mossad, I'm certainly no expert. I've just read some books on it over the years. I don't think they would be at all beyond doing some sort of false flag or something like that. It's very plausible. How they would go about that or how that might happen. They could just simply say that Iran shot a missile or something like that, or it could be a bomb goes off, blame it on whoever. That's certainly a possibility. And I think that, again, like we were saying with our previous audience of the sort of evangelical-minded people, they don't understand that there's the evangelical Zionist idea of the end times, and you have to kind of allow this stuff to happen, and Israel can do whatever it wants because they think this will further sort of the return of Christ and the rapture and the final millennium and all this kind of nonsense. But there's also the rabbinic idea, which is split between whether or not they have to be in the promised land and build the temple before the Messiah comes, or the other Orthodox Jews
Thank you.
they're not supposed to be there,
Grandma.
Because the Messiah hasn't come. That's really a
Grandma Faith, in nomine Patris, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, in nomine Yeshua, Amen.
Flag, for sure. I mean, Israel has a history of using false flags, just like many nations have. So absolutely.
Yeah, help me understand the ideology of
who's a Mossad dummy?
Christians, especially in the United States.
Fuck Mossad.
These beliefs you mentioned, for example, the rapture. The rapture is a late 19th century, British American Protestant development. It doesn't appear anywhere in the Bible or the ancient writings, etc. I was talking to the daughter of a friend of mine who is an evangelical Christian and has volunteered to go overseas and do some missionary work. I asked her where she was going, and she said North Macedonia. I said, why? She said, why not? I said, because they're already Christian. Why aren't you going to Africa, right? Or go to the Middle East somewhere? And she looked at me like I had two heads, because an Orthodox Christian is not a real Christian, right? I mean, isn't that what they're led to believe these days?
Absolutely, and to tie that in just briefly with what you mentioned earlier on, the idea that evangelical Christianity is also an arm of Zionism, and also an arm, I would argue, of the American Pentagon or deep state. There's a lot of history that goes into missionaries being used and recruited for intelligence work, for all kinds of stuff. Other countries such as Russia, for example, ban groups like Jehovah's Witnesses or things like Scientology, because sometimes they're cut out, sometimes they're used for that stuff. So It's not just a matter of persecuting religious groups. It has to do, as you would know, with espionage. So there's that angle too, which the U.S. uses a lot of these evangelical groups for what it calls soft power to try to promote American ideology in other countries. This was used heavily in the Ukraine, used heavily in the Cold War. There's giant historical, scholarly texts on that. But beyond that, I think you're right that for the evangelical mind, I don't think they would see these groups as really Christian. So they're just sort of nominally Christian or Christian in name. Funny you said that. I was actually on an evangelical guy's podcast the other day, and he was saying, I come from Lithuania. Everybody's nominally Christian, but in America, I really found evangelical true Christianity, and I just thought that was. I was like, well, but what makes that true? And he's like, well, I had this experience, right? So it's very experiential and emotionally based. It's not actually based in sort of ritual and tradition, history. There's a lot of emotivism involved in that sort of evangelical Bible thumping, Billy Sunday style revivalist stuff that goes back to, you could say, America's founding, the Puritans and the New Light, and all that. Anyway, your question though, I think, was more so about what
Speaking in tongues can be holy or it can be from the devil. That's something that I would refer you to a priest, to ask a priest if the tongue, like if you think you can speak in tongues, talk to a priest and ask him to observe you, and he'll tell you what he thinks. But we do believe speaking in tongues is a real thing and truly happens to this day. But it's a miracle when it does. Like we don't believe that everybody has to speak in tongues. We don't believe that everyone's got to be jumping around speaking in tongues. We just believe that some people are gifted just like the gift of prophecy. They might not be a prophet, but Father Seraphim Rose, many believe he had the gift of prophecy because he's prophesied so much that happened in the church after his death. So we don't believe that revelation has ceased per se. Unholy virgin, no. She is a virgin and sinless because, modern science proves that a baby's blood cells stay in the mother the rest of her life. If Jesus' blood in scripture, when it touches anything, it heals it and cleanses it. If he was a baby in her for 9 months, got his blood from her, and when he came out, his blood was still in Mother Mary for the rest of her life. How could she not be perpetually sinless and a virgin? And when it talks about Jesus's brothers, those are half brothers from other marriages. You forget they were Jews still. They had multiple wives. Well, somebody said unholy. What did I misinterpret? Yeah, I mean, speaking in tongues is a gift. I just didn't know what you meant by unholy Mary. Yes, I'm Orthodox, Russian Orthodox outside of Russia. Yeah, related to the tongue. Wait, unholy Mary related to the tongue. Yes, I'm Eastern Orthodox, Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia, which is an Eastern Orthodox Church. Hell yeah, what's up? It's sad what's happening with our archbishops, man. I hate that Greek guy, that Greek archbishop keeps playing ecumenist patsy with the Pope. Like, we are not Catholics. Get this Catholic heretic off our holy ground. We don't want, he lets gay in his church. We don't want gay in our church. I would love for all the Catholics to submit and admit that, okay, sorry, we were getting a little rich and greedy, so we decided to make the Pope the emperor, but we want it to be one church again, so we'll become Orthodox. Because that's the only way it's going to be able to happen, because there's no way that the one true church becomes papist, because then the whole church would be in apostasy, and Jesus said that that cannot happen. Oh. Okay, I get it. Amen to that, Strudel Slayer. I was Catholic for I was about to get confirmed. Technically, at first they said I was getting confirmed on Easter, but they lied to me the whole way. I was like, I really believe more the Eastern Orthodox theology. Like, I don't want to have to say the Filioque, but it wasn't an Eastern Catholic church. But the priest was like, no, I agree with you. I don't believe in the Filioque either. You can still join. And I was like, and I really don't believe in the bodily assumption of Mary. And he's like, no, you can join. And then on the night of getting confirmed, they're like, you have to say the whole creed with the Filioque, or you can't come in. And then, so I just backed out and did more research. And I was like, I'm glad I did that, because I want to be an Orthodox Catholic, not a Roman Catholic. Little boy blue is a good color. It's a good color for a church. Honestly, my Russian church might be painted little boy blue. It's like a bright blue on the outside, but on the inside it looks like you walk into the heavens opened up to you with Christ above you and all the saints around him. It's beautiful. Now I just need to find a beautiful wife to make some beautiful babies, and then it's all making enough money to provide for them. Smoking Fent. Not today. I used to smoke Fent before. I didn't smoke it. I used to inject fentanyl and cocaine speedballs before I came to Christ. I still got scars all on my arms from it. I don't know if y'all can see them. See those scars? Most of those you see are from scratches, or from when I knifed myself. Oh, here. Yeah, y'all can see it. Y'all see up there on that elbow, the inside of the elbow. Y'all see that mark? Y'all see that? That's from injecting fentanyl and cocaine directly into my bloodstream. And when I became a Christian after that, dude, I felt horrible. I felt horrible that I had such a healthy body. I played sports my whole life, and I was destroying the temple of the Holy Spirit that God trusted me to take care of. So that really hurt me, but I hurt myself. Yeah, I'm all good now. Just sucks for the damage already done to my heart and stuff. I worry about it. Though RFK shot more drugs than me, and he's going on 90?
Same elevator every day. But today, she made it. Her new path had arrived. The elevator.
Are you pro-Crusades? I like the Crusades just fine. Look, I think we should take back the Holy Land. I think it's ours. There's no one saying that.
I've been saying
The
that.
progressives have been so dominant that they even corrupted a lot of the Conservative Party. The church has been completely taken over. Let's do it. Come on, that's what we're here to talk about. Why did you become a Catholic? I think it's true. What is Catholicism? What about it? Every single facet. Have you been following what the Pope's been saying with Trump? This will get me in trouble. I shouldn't be piping up about this.
I love Saint Paisios. He's such a powerful saint.
Trump shooting.
He's such a powerful, powerful saint. Jake Proud, could you explain that a little bit for me? He blots out your transgressions and remembers your... Oh, never mind. I understand. Amen. You're right. I shouldn't. But as in our fallen nature, as Orthodox, I don't believe in original guilt. I believe in original sin. So I believe we have a fallen nature that yearns for some sort of sin. Our flesh does. So, nothing we can do but fight it. And hand it over to the Lord. Pray the Lord delivers us from our demons. Yeah, I think it's like 365 times in the Bible it says, do not be afraid. I always remind myself that. Yeah, real question though. Do y'all think that it's cool that I put blood all over this handle and let it soak in? It kind of just made it darker, honestly. Except there's a few parts where I grabbed it with my finger and you can see a blood splat like right there. I figured for Jesus's blood, even though it's my blood, put the blood all over the cross. Oh, right here on the back's kind of cool. It's got some streakage, some blood streakage with that goes with the wood grain. What do y'all fucking with that? Y'all like it? I need to stop cursing like a dumbass. I think I might be fucking with it. Hope it don't rain today. Maybe I hope it does. Can y'all hear me? Or is it stuck on my headphone? Yeah, I guess so. I can. Well, I got some tree work to do if nobody's got nothing else going on. Rock and roll can be alright. I'm not much of a music guy since getting into following Christ, other than I like Gregorian chants, Gregorian Christian war chants, and uh, Byzantine war chants, Byzantine Christian chants. Let's see, some shit like this.
Your job depends on reliable tools. That's why Harbor Freight is committed to offering quality tools to pros like yourself at a fraction of the price. Stop by today.
There's one I like better. Damn, I should have opened on, saved up all my Pokemon cards I got yesterday to open on stream. I didn't get anything crazy, but I was trying to get the Dragonite from or the Charizard from Ascending something. I don't know. Whatever one it comes from Ascending Heroes, maybe. Not regular music, battle chants. Here. It's 6:33. It's daylight now, baby. Told you I got work. I could be out there cutting right now. I need to finish a job over here, and I need another job I'm working on. It's supposed to be there at 10 over on this side of the town, about 5 minutes apart. Also, what that guy was saying about his body being, our bodies being, about our bodies being a temple is, that's why we're expected to fast as Orthodox Christians, because back in the old day, you'd cook the lamb on the Passover, and the meat, the fat would, be boiling off as you're cooking it, falling into the fire, making the smoke go up to Yahweh. And that would happen in the temple. And since we're now the temple of the Holy Spirit, we're expected to fast to provide that meat that is the incense for God in heaven, along with our prayers. That's why in the Bible it says, nothing cannot be accomplished without prayer or fasting or whatever. That's a loose quote, but prayer and fasting. So you should be observing fasting rituals. My parish and most ROCOR parishes would, no meat and dairy on, except you can have spineless fish, sometimes, or shrimp and lobster and all that, but everything else vegetable related, like sweet potatoes, and potatoes are good though, so that's what I do. And you're only supposed to eat one meal a day, and you do that every Friday and Wednesday. And then obviously for Lent, we just start, since we're on a different calendar, we start about 9 days or 7 days before the Catholics do. ours is that much longer. And the Catholics fasting is literally nothing. It's like you get 2 meals a day, and it's like, and you can eat meat at the meals. Like you can eat all meats at any time. Who's watching right now? Who are my 4 people? Six, 7, I don't know. I've heard that it means, off yourself, in a game to like make your player jump off a cliff or something. I've heard it meaning that. I've heard it meaning a lot of stuff. But time to bounce, guys. I'll show y'all what I got going today. What I'm running. The Husqvarna 450 Rancher. All its glory. It's a good little saw. You'd be surprised how powerful these things are. You can run it. I want to get a damn 24-inch bar for it, but 20 is perfect too. I also want to get a 24-inch bar for my 55 Rancher, or maybe even a 28 would be badass. And I also at some point want to get another clone 372 XP. Still pitch black here. Where are you, in Australia or something? Far East Texas, or Far West Texas. My dad's family and my brother are actually, and my mom, or no, my mom's family and my brother are from Texas, from Houston. Oh, word, I've been up in the Panhandle to, what's that? 2 named beach, Panama City Beach. With my cousins when I lived down outside of Tampa with them. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all hopefully again soon. In nomine Patris, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, in nomine Yeshua, Amen. Peace, brother.